I am really excited to be able to share this behind-the-scenes footage of Zealong's spring harvest in New Zealand. Sometimes it's really hard for me to explain all of the amazing things about Zealong, from the farm to the people to the tea, really because there's just so much. And so this is an opportunity for you to hear straight from the source and from the estate itself about what makes Zealong tea just really so amazing and special. We're going to go ahead and start by having Derek, who is the estate manager, tell you a little bit about himself and about his background. We hope you enjoy, and there's a whole lot more to come, so stay tuned to email and social media to see all of the behind-the-scenes footage and interviews.
I'm a fifth generation New Zealander. I left the family farm to study agriculture at university and then got more into cropping and ended up here at Zealong. So I've had an opportunity to be involved at some level right from the beginning, but it's only the last 5 years that I've been here full time, and my role here is the estate manager, so I look after the farm and the grounds and everything outdoors. I've farmed mostly in New Zealand, but I've also spent some time in Tasmania, Australia, and also in the US on a large cropping farm in Indiana. I've had the opportunity to travel to China, Taiwan, Japan. We looked at the tea industry over there, visited a number of farms and factories and tea research institutions where we've picked up a lot of valuable information that we can bring back here and implement with what we're doing at Zealong.
So we hear a lot about organic certification and we hear the word organic, but what does that actually mean for a farm like Zealong in New Zealand?
We look after our soils and the health of our plants organically. So we don't put on anything artificial in terms of fertiliser. We don't use any pesticides, any herbicides. All our weed control is either mechanical or manual. Our fertilisers are all organic and certified organic. We test them for heavy metals, for residues. We have a thorough testing program on the farm where we test the soil and the leaf every year. And then from those results, we tailor our fertiliser program to make sure we're maintaining the soil levels to where we want them. Part of our organic auditing program, we test the soil and the leaf for heavy metals and multi-residues. We've got irrigation ponds behind me here. This water comes from the ground, it's pumped into the ponds and then applied to the leaf, and every year we'll test the water quality on the ponds before we apply it to the leaf.
So most tea farms rely on insecticides to control the pests on the tea plant, but you heard earlier that Zealong actually does not have to use any insecticides. So listen as Derek explains a little bit more about that, and he talks about how that affects Zealong's caffeine levels.
So we're really blessed here in New Zealand because we are the only tea plantation, and tea is not a widespread plant in New Zealand. We don't have a lot of the pests that they experience overseas. So we don't need to use insecticides or sprays to control our pests. We've got a fairly well-balanced ecosystem here. We don't have to do a lot in terms of pest control. Our plants are healthy and thriving. We've done a number of tests to test our caffeine levels, and our caffeine levels are really low and tracking downwards because the plants aren't under any pressure from pests. We also have some quite organic rich soils in the lower lying areas. We have a lot of peat in the Waikato, so we have a lot of organic matter, and tea loves organic matter in its soil. So our soils are very nutrient rich naturally, yes, and we maintain that nutrient level and our pH to make it just right for our tea.
So Zealong is also known for their innovative farming practices in order to keep their tea plants healthy and to maintain their ecosystem balance.
So with our fertiliser planning, we have a robust soil testing program as well. So we'll have sampling locations around the farm which are marked on a map. We have plants tagged so we can go to the exact location each time and take our samples from the same place. That removes some of the variability that you get in the field. We know that the results that we're getting from those tests are directly comparable to the years before. So we can see whether there's trends, either positive or negative. If there's deficiencies occurring, we can then tailor our nutrient program through fertiliser to make sure that our levels are at our optimum. So we work closely with a fertiliser company not far from here, and they will do a custom blend for us. It's all organic, it's all certified organic through BioGrow, but they will tailor the nutrient levels with different products to meet the requirements based on our soil testing.
New Zealand as a country is actually known for their strict organic certification. As an FDA consultant actually told me on the phone, New Zealand is the gold standard. Listen to Derek as he talks a little bit more about that.
Our New Zealand BioGrow certifications are very strict. We have an annual audit, so all our records get looked at, our testing program, our water quality, the way that we're farming, everything gets looked at through the eyes of an auditor to make sure that we're within those certifications, and it's very robust and very strict. But it also gives us the confidence to know that our product meets the highest levels and it's safe for the consumer. I think our tea would be some of the cleanest in the world. I'd be struggling to find another place that does things as well as what we are here.
So there you have it. That's the first part of our behind-the-scenes footage at the Zealong tea estate at their spring harvest. There's a whole lot more to come, so make sure you stay tuned to your email and follow us on our social media channels.